This is In the Know for Wednesday, October 1, the 274th day of 2025. There are 91 days left in the year. Good morning, MB, guiding you through In the Know at K105, on Litchfield's Country Station, 1039 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app, using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter, and the hashtag is In the Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. The MLB playoffs are underway. We will also welcome in a new month of October. We'll do that and a whole lot more coming up today here on In the Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beej. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
Welcoming a new month. It actually feels like fall now that we're in the month of October. We're all about some leftovers, yes?
Oh, yeah.
We're, like you and I, you can turn leftovers into like mini meals.
Yes.
You even got to the point where the family named you the food burro because you were determined to hang on to the
Yes.
food because you never know when you might be hungry. What do you think is the best leftover food? Food that makes the best
think
leftovers?
What's going to be the answer for most people is pizza. But
It's number 2. Soup is the top of the list. Pizza, then meat, pasta, and then rice rounds out the top 5 of leftover foods. I think pizza is universally, like, it's good for any meal of the day.
I think most people feel that way.
Leftover in any format. It holds up pretty well. Over there in chair number 3, we say good morning and welcome back. She is Grayson County Extension Services Ag Agent. She is Miss Whitney Carmen. Morning. Hang on. Morning.
Morning.
I forgot to turn your microphone
That's
on.
all right.
It would help. How are you?
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm doing fine. You're over, in the middle of the construction zone on Quarry Road?
We are. We're a little dusty over on Quarry Road.
I saw you at another construction zone on Friday. We were both in the ambassador's luncheon at ECTC. Did you get some strong encouragement to attend that since your mother-in-law is the ringleader, or did you do that willingly and voluntarily?
I did it personally and professionally. Yes,
Okay,
I
well.
did. I was supporting the family, but also supporting the college. And, even though I do work for a university, it is also a great option to have it's a good partnership. I think you need all of these colleges in this area to help make our people successful.
Well, the way that the KCTCS system sits in proximity to UK has always been very strong, and they're integral to one another.
Yep.
Historically, the KCTCS system was kind of considered a feeder system to UK because they were doing the 2-year, the 2-year degrees, and then all that's in flux. But anyway, that project's underway. It's going to be great. It was good to see you at lunch. My wrap was good. Was your wrap good?
It was.
Good. We're in October now. And October has some folklore, some things that I had not heard of before. Well, when the deer are in a gray coat in October, expect a hard winter. Had you heard that one before?
I have not.
Much rain in October, much wind in December.
I have heard that.
A warm October means a cold February.
Ooh, we can go back last year and see if that checked.
Yeah, we're going to have another warm October as well, at least through the middle of the month. And then there's this little piece. I'm sure Whitney has heard a version of this, if not this very one. In October, dung your field, and your land its wealth shall yield.
Yeah, it works.
If you fertilize
Natural
in the month of
fertilize.
October, then next year, then you will reap what you sow, so to speak. Welcome to October. It's going to feel more like August than October. We're seeing highs in the mid 80s. Short term, more of the same, highs in the 80s and lows around 60. For the next several days, we're kind of watching a rain chance early next week, but I don't think it's going to be anything tremendously significant because Imelda just did not deliver what she thought she was expected to deliver early on. So may get some tropical moisture aiding in at least some scattered downpours next week, but don't count on the rain. We'll see some high clouds today, a high of 86, partly cloudy, 60 tonight, mostly sunny, and a high of 85 for tomorrow. And then should be a nice, pleasant night for Cougar football tomorrow night, which is on Thursday. So as October arrives, that means the fall wildfire season, hazard season, begins today, and it's signaling the start of some outdoor burning restrictions here in the Commonwealth. The state's outdoor burning law prohibits burning between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. local time within 150 feet of any woodland, brushland, or fields containing dry grass or other flammable materials. There are two windows of this, October 1 to December 15, and then February 15 to April 30 to prevent wildfires. The Division of Forestry responds to between 850 and 1,000 wildfires annually. That's in Kentucky, 99% of all wildfires are caused by human activity. They also, the department is encouraging you to use something called FireWise, which I hadn't heard of before. These are practices around your homes and communities in forested areas. They include creating a defensible space around your home by removing leaves, debris, and firewood. A lot of people leave their firewood up against their house.
Yeah.
They say keep that away because if it catches, then it's obviously a big source of fire. And they also say ensure access for safety personnel and equipment in rural or isolated areas. So it makes it easier if you've got a buffer zone around your house. If you feel like things might be happening differently locally, like we're in a drought condition, things are extremely dry. So sometimes local mayors and judge executives and even fire departments have the ability to issue additional burn bans. So, but the statewide advisory right now is just not between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. within 150 feet of any woodland. And then as things continue to either get wetter or more dry, then we'll get additional information. We're in the middle of a government shutdown now. The federal government shut down at midnight, meaning your armed services members are not getting paid. Your TSA agents are not getting paid, but most of them are still working, at least for there's a couple of weeks. You know, there's the payroll cycle that went out to federal employees today was on track. Now, there's not another one until mid-month, so the pain doesn't necessarily get ratcheted up. So they've got a couple of more weeks to be able to figure out who's going to flinch first in this deal. The Democrats primarily are taking the blame for it when you look across multiple media services. Depending upon what your political ideology is, you can get different flavors of each one. And for now, it seems to be that Schumer is taking the brunt of the blame for the shutdown because the ask on their side is just completely unreasonable. There are some people that are making a claim that during the federal government shutdown, it gives the president more executive action authority, that he may be able to do some of the DOGE things that he wanted to do anyway while the government is shut down. And I don't know if there's any truth to that, but there's at least some speculation. And Rand Paul was one of the people who voted against the bill. There were 7 Democrats in the Senate that voted with Republicans. John Fetterman from Pennsylvania was one. He's been, seemingly pretty reasonable in regard to keeping the government open, but Senator Paul did not support the bill. So we'll figure out. The House passed it. They were able to settle their differences and get it sent over to the Senate. But it looks like Chuck Schumer has it on lockdown at the moment. The president and the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, were down at Quantico, and they both spoke to these Army generals and admirals, and it was about 800 people at Quantico, and it was basically being read the Riot Act from Hegseth, that he said the era of politically correct, overly sensitive, don't hurt anyone's feelings leadership ends right now at every level. The president also said the purposes of America's military is not to protect anyone's feelings, it's to protect our republic. Hegseth basically told all the generals that if they were fat, lazy, out of shape, that wasn't the way they were supposed to be in leadership positions. And President Trump, he's funny whether he knows he is or not, but he's accustomed to when he's giving a speech in front of 800 people, there's usually applause and cheers, and it turns into this political rally. But when you've got 800 generals and admirals just sitting there, because he's the commander in chief, right? They're fully attentive. They're just listening to everything that he says. when he goes off script and he tries to riff and throw in jokes, etc., and they don't know how to act. So he said at the outset of his speech, "You can applaud if you wish." And then he added, "If you don't like what I'm saying, you can leave the room. Of course, there goes your rank and there goes your future." He laughed when he said, and some people did laugh when he said that, but he was trying to soften up the room a little bit, but had a hard time. Turning Point USA had their first campus event since the assassination of Charlie Kirk back on September 10th. They did it at this was at Utah State University, which is a couple of hours from Utah Valley University. They had 5,000 students, high security. They had a moment where they evacuated a building on campus yesterday. They found some strange package that the bomb squad dealt with, but it turned out to not be an explosive device. But it shows you how on edge everyone is and everything is about those events. The podcaster, her last name is Clark, Alex Clark. She kicked off the event and she said, "I'm not here to eulogize Charlie Kirk, but to pass the torch on to every single one of you." So Utah's governor was there last night and some others that were there on that day back on September 10th. We had a story on Monday that I benched because I thought it was more helpful to have today with Whitney with us. James Comer is leading a bipartisan effort opposing the inclusion of anti-hemp language in two bills comprising the fiscal year 26 Agriculture, Rural Development, FDA, and related agencies Appropriations Act. That's a mouthful. Mm-hmm. In a letter to Speaker Johnson, he and 27 of his fellow lawmakers warned that adopting this harmful language, including a sweeping redefinition of legal hemp, would jeopardize the long-term future of the U.S. hemp industry, and they urge House leadership to stand up for American hemp farmers by removing the language from the bill and any appropriations package. So first, Whitney, I will ask you, as it stands at the very moment, without any language change, is there a viable future for the hemp industry in the United States?
I think that there is in certain areas. I do still think it's going to be kind of niche. Now, I will say this as well. This was his big project when he was our Commissioner of Agriculture. So it is one of those things that is very true to his, what his followers really pushed for. So there is that. But I think that a lot of the folks that got into the hemp business and the ones that have moved here from other places that have gotten into it are looking forward more towards the legalization of marijuana, because that is a more, they assume, a lucrative thing. Now, the hemp right now in Kentucky, there is some markets for it, but it's more of the oils. It's more of the actual rope making, the things that are not oil as well. So, but I mean, as far as it being in Kentucky, I mean, there are far less now than there were 5 years ago.
Was it a boondoggle of sorts? It was sold to us as going to be the next generation of farming, and a lot of farmers went in and devoted, they invested tons of a lot of money in it and infrastructure, et cetera. And then it either there were too many people that got into it.
It was flooded. And I do think as well that there were a lot of promises made that were not kept to our farmers. Okay. I do think that there was that. So I don't know that that's necessarily the businesses that were contracting with them, or if it was just a matter of the logistics of it. It didn't work out the way they thought, oh, well, it's going to be great, but it really wasn't. I mean, I know of folks that had a really hard time with it, and I know some that did great with it. And I think it just depended on who you allied yourself with and who you worked with.
An interesting point, though, that I heard you make. It sounds like that the infrastructure setup is there for those people if we do go next level on marijuana.
Yes.
And it's got to be grown somewhere, even at the medicinal level.
Yes.
It has to be grown somewhere. So I guess they stand an opportunity
and
to do that.
I mean, I do think that there's going to have to be some, of course, UK specifically, we do it with the plant side of it. We don't work with that's the Department of Agriculture that handles the licensing and all of that. But I do know on just working with local farmers, that was their intent, was to get ahead of the game for when that is legalized.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
State Senator Brandon Smith from over in Hazard has sent a letter to Governor Andy Beshear formally urging him to sign a death warrant authorizing the execution of Ralph Bays. Bays was convicted of murdering Powell County Sheriff Steve Bennett and Deputy Arthur Briscoe more than 30 years ago. Smith's letter emphasizes the duty of the governor to uphold jury verdicts and provide long overdue justice to the families of the slain officers. I'm just going to go out on a limb and tell you that's not going to happen. Bays is 55 now. He was sentenced to death in 1994 for the murders of the Powell County lawmen. His case became nationally significant in 2007 when the U.S. Supreme Court reviewed whether Kentucky's lethal injection protocol was constitutional, promoting a nationwide pause in executions. Kentucky has not carried out an execution since 2008. A.G. Coleman has recently renewed efforts to lift Kentucky's death penalty moratorium and filed motions to resolve the 2010 Franklin Circuit Court injunction that halted executions. Coleman argues that the Department of Corrections has updated protocols and the federal action now provides a path to access lethal injections drugs. He said, justice delayed is justice denied. We have 24 people on death row in Kentucky right now. The state has authorized lethal injections since 1998, but executions have been stalled for 15 years while we wait for drug availability and litigation over protocols, et cetera. I just tell you, Andy Beshear is not the person who's going to sign that. I can't tell you that another governor won't. At least, let me back up. I would be shocked, and you could knock me over with a feather if Andy Beshear were to sign that warrant. Perhaps someone else in the future will do so. The Department of Fish and Wildlife will host a live auction to sell surplus items and confiscated hunting and fishing equipment. On Monday, registration opens at 6:30 Central Time, and the auction will begin at 8:30 Central Time. It will be held outdoor, rain or shine, at the headquarters campus, 1 Sportsman's Lane in Frankfort. So if you want to pick up a deal on some hunting and fishing equipment that's been confiscated, or maybe get your old stuff back that you had confiscated.
Well, I don't know if you got the guns taken away, you might be able to not get them back.
Yeah, that's true. That's a possibility.
Yeah.
In Lady Cougar volleyball last night, the Lady Cougars finished the regular season with a district sweep. They were perfect, 6-0 in district competition. They defeated Edmonson County last night in 3 sets, 25-11, 25-19, and 25-18. The girls' soccer team starts district tournament play tonight at home against Breck County at 5:30. So you can take that in and enjoy. Best of luck to the Lady Cougars. The day 1 of the wild card matchups are in the books, and day 2 of the wild card games will start today. I think there's a game starting at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and I think they'll go throughout the night. The Reds came up on the short end of the stick, but Whitney, yesterday morning, he said, I'll just be happy if they score a run.
Yeah.
Through the 7th inning, when I went to bed, they had a goose egg, but I woke up to 5 runs being scored last night, but they still came up on the short end 10-5.
Yeah, they did. We watched part of the Yankees-Boston game, which was pretty good. I know it didn't turn in your favor, but
it did not.
but it was still a good game. And then with the home run to start the game, I thought, ooh, Cincinnati's in for it. And I had one rooting for LA and one rooting for Cincinnati in my household, so it was an interesting evening.
Bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th with 0 outs, and leave it to Giancarlo Stanton to not be able to deliver. Jazz Chisholm arguing what was obviously strike 2, which continues his bad behavior.
Yeah.
And the Yankees can't they can't play to run in the 9th inning with the bases loaded and no outs. I mean, it's the bullpen. Luke Weaver was out of character bad last night. So they'll try it again today. If they lose today or they lose tomorrow, either of those two, you will not see Aaron Boone in pinstripes yet again. In fact, if George Steinbrenner were still alive, he'd have been gone a long time ago, would be my prediction. So they got too much talent to not get out of the wild card round. Got to get to a break. Go Reds, go Yankees. And we'll be back with more here on In the Know.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ashley Gabb, medicine physician with Owensboro Health. I'd like to talk with women 40 and over about having annual mammograms, even if there is no history of breast cancer in your family. Early detection provides women a strong advantage in fighting breast cancer. Ask your primary care provider for a referral and schedule your screening online at owensborohealth.org/mammogram.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start October 20th. Visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Fall in Kentucky isn't just football season. It's hunting season. It's fishing season. It's game time outdoors. Get your license, permits, and all you need at fw.ky.gov. Sponsored by the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife.
Hi, I'm Bob with Hometown Hangout Sports Pub and Grill. You might have noticed we don't have fancy decor or celebrity chefs. It's true, we've ignored the trend of upscale dining and extravagant renovations. That gets pretty expensive, you know. And in the end, it's the customer who pays for those upgrades. Not at Hometown Hangout. Our guests come to us for one thing, to have a great time. Whether you're with the family, the whole team, or just friends, you'll love our fun atmosphere, exciting games, and great food. Hometown Hangout on West White Oak. See you after the game.
Big Clifty Farm and Country Store is throwing a party, and you are invited. It's the 4th Annual Harvest Festival, Saturday, October 10th from 10 to 6 at 9695 Elizabethtown Road in Big Clifty. There'll be craft vendors, you pick pumpkin patch, hay rides, food trucks, music, games, and more. Join Big Clifty Farm and Country Store for all the fun of the Harvest Festival. Saturday, October 10th in Big Clifty.
At Mickey's Towing and Garage, we've been rescuing drivers since 1977, and now we're thrilled to announce our new Caneyville location. Whether you're stuck in Grayson County or beyond, we've got you covered 24/7. If you've had an accident, request Mickey's. Our family-owned, licensed, and insured service offers competitive rates. Save our lumber, 270-246-2967. Because when you need a hero on the road, Mickey's Towing and Garage is just a call away. Reliability and trust now closer than ever.
Disclaimer: cape and mask not included.
A new report suggests that AI chatbots could be lying to you. This is something that researchers have been warning about.
They're increasing in their ability to process and understand maybe higher level ideas and look at big picture thoughts, which is a little bit scary.
Joe Spracklin at UT San Antonio says this is why there's been so much talk about putting guardrails on AI research. The study done by the makers of ChatGPT uncovered instances where the chatbots were concealing their true intentions. They compared it to a stockbroker breaking the law to maximize profits. Apple is reportedly about to start producing new versions of some popular computers. Bloomberg says the company will soon start manufacturing the latest versions of the MacBook Pro, the MacBook Air, and a couple of new Mac monitors. They might be out as soon as the end of this year. And YouTube is agreeing to pay millions to settle a lawsuit brought by President Trump. According to the Wall Street Journal, the Google-owned company will pay $24.5 million related to the suspension of Trump's account after the January the 6th Capitol riot. Tech Report, I'm Mark Mayfield.
Your name is the highest. Your name is the greatest. Your name stands above them all. All thrones and dominions, all powers and positions. Your name stands above them all. And the angels cry,
October arrives today. It means the 8th month before they changed the calendar and rearranged. That October meant 8th month, but October has also been called Germanicus, Herculeus, Faustinus, so happy 1st of Faustinus to you. I don't know what that means. It's Homemade Cookies Day. It's Pumpkin Spice Day. It's CD Player Day. You'll find out today's Did You Know why it's CD Player Day. It's International Coffee Day and Less Than Perfect Day. So right on cue, need a little grace because we're all less than perfect. No matter how good you are, you're less than perfect because no one is. Which came first? I thought this might be fun. Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse?
Bugs Bunny.
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, 1928.
Yeah.
Bugs in 1940.
I should really know that.
The light bulb or the airplane?
The light bulb.
Yeah, light bulb patented in 1879. Wright brothers flew the first plane in 1903.
I was trying to think of just American history.
All right, here's one that's a little more modern. Minecraft or Fortnite?
Fortnite.
Minecraft.
Minecraft since 2011, Fortnite since 2017. All right, pressure on you.
That's a Cole Bryant one right there. That's the only reason I know that.
I don't know. I don't.
Pressure on you, Miss Buckles.
Oh.
Monopoly or Clue?
Ooh. Like them both.
Clue.
Parker Brothers began marketing the modern version of Monopoly in 1935. Clue appeared in 1949.
Okay.
The Super Bowl or the World Series?
World Series.
World Series.
Yeah,
easy.
World Series. Yeah.
They didn't even play what they called the
Foosball.
Super Bowl in 1967. Foosball. The first World Series was in 1903. Rubik's Cube or the Magic 8 Ball?
Magic 8 Ball.
Yeah.
1946 on the Magic 8 Ball. It was released as a paperweight originally. The Rubik's Cube got put together. It was Erno Rubik in 1974, but it didn't hit shelves until 1980, and then it took off like crazy. It was really an enigma for a while. The Oscars or the Emmys?
The Oscars.
1929, the Emmys in 1949. They've been making movies longer than they've been making television is a good way to remember that. The computer mouse or email?
The computer mouse, because the computer mouse was there before.
I don't think so. Is it?
It was carved from wood and
Oh,
featured just one button. The first prototype
from
mouse was
wood.
created in 1964. The first email was sent in 1971.
Okay, that makes
So
sense. I
those are
should
some
know
of the things
that.
that are first or last. And and it had a weird name. It was like optical pointing device or
I remember
something
that
we
from
talked
one day
about
that-
not
yeah.
long ago. New survey says Americans get twice as many scam calls as everyone else.
I believe it. I've also gotten some interesting text messages lately too. It's
Me
like,
too.
"Hey, friend." I'm like, "Who
Yeah,
are you?"
I'm getting
Mine,
those.
okay, mine has been, do you want to come over?
Yeah.
How's your day? How's your day going? And then I got one yesterday.
Yeah.
It was weird. Hi, I don't usually message first, but since we matched, I thought I would. And I'm like, we're not matching anywhere. I can promise you that. I mean, like, I'm nowhere to be matched with. So I thought that was extremely strange. Like, they're just, and all they're looking for is some type of response. It
Anything.
doesn't matter what you respond, they just need you to respond. For the most part, I haven't done it with text messages yet, but that'll be next. I have silence unknown callers because if you're not in my contacts and you're calling from some rando number,
Yeah.
and I know that means I'll miss some things that I probably want. Like yesterday, I was waiting on a call back from tech support, and I thought, well, I think I know which number they'll be calling from. But we also have that spoofing law in Kentucky where you can't call back from a number that looks like another number, so they have to be careful. So I turned that feature off for a couple of hours waiting for my call, and then I turned it right back on because of the number of just stupid calls that I'm getting. But text messages will be next. A Talker research survey of 10,500 adults worldwide found Americans receive an average of 9 calls, 9 emails, and 7 texts weekly from scammers, totaling about 100 monthly encounters. Britain was right behind us with 84 monthly scam attempts. Singapore residents experience only 40 per month. The study revealed Americans and Brits have over 350 spam emails in their inboxes currently. Only 23% feel confident identifying legitimate versus fraudulent communications. Now, this doesn't take into account the number of emails that you get that are
Already.
that you have signed up for, that you're on their mailing list and you've just not opted out.
Right.
And I go through seasons where I go and get rid of those, like take me off of that, take me off of that, take me off of that. But then I get them from multiple times a day, seemingly from Omaha Steaks. And I want to get off the list when I go, well, wait a minute, Christmas is coming close. I might need to see, what their deals are. Well, do that times 15 companies that you have relationships with. And it's just inundated with nonsense all the time. And so I don't know what to do about it. Maybe I can tell AI to fix that for me. AI, can you read these things and tell me which ones are important to me and which ones are not? Get ready for it to cost a little more to ship things during the holiday season with USPS. The Postal Service has announced a temporary price hike on some package services. They would go into effect October 5th and last through January 18th. The agency explained that the new rates would cover extra handling costs to ensure a successful peak season.
They're not in my good graces right now. So.
Our mail carriers, I bless
Not my mail carrier.
bless
just-
their hearts.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for them at the end of the holiday season because they get run ragged. We're all buying stuff online, and we need someone to haul it to us, and they're doing way more Amazon stuff than than UPS is now. And so there are times, like during the holiday season, that our mail carriers will be delivering stuff after dark in the wintertime. And we live within a mile and a half of the post office. So it shows you we're not deep into the route. So I just feel very bad for them, and I understand they hire extra help this time of year, or their backups work extra time. So Whitney's holding her tongue. I see.
I am.
Somebody,
I'm just trying to, if you can't say nothing nice, I'll say nothing
somebody. I saw something on TikTok yesterday, and it was the equivalent of this. Maybe it was Facebook. I don't know. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. But what am I supposed to do with my face?
Oh, and I am
Yes. Yeah.
many times, many times. I said, my husband, God love him, Kyle's like, I don't have to know what you're saying. I can see it on your face. It's not what you say, it's what you look like.
That's right.
I'm like, I'm sorry.
I saw a young lady yesterday say that her eyeballs were the strongest muscles in her body because she rolls them so many times a day. If you're looking to save money, things have just gotten more expensive, and auto repair costs more money especially because you're paying tax now on auto repair service that you didn't have to pay previously in Kentucky. But you can reduce some car expenses with these simple tips from some experts. Do regular car inspections. You walk around the outside and kind of like check things out, make sure they look all right. Do listen to any unusual car noises. That means do not just turn the radio up when you hear a weird noise. Like, I'm gonna turn that up so I don't have to listen to that. Don't race to a red light. If you see a red light turning off in the distance, don't hurry up there and just brake and stop. Just ease up right then and just kind of slowly roll up to the intersection, because it saves your brakes, saves your acceleration,
Saves your
etc.
brakes, but I don't have the time for that.
You want to race to a red light and then just jam on the brakes and stop?
I try not to, and
Just trying to hope that it doesn't turn, right?
yeah, like I'm just
Skating through
anyway.
yellow.
Yeah, but sometimes you just give it. There's no way I'm going to make that light, so I might as well just ease out and
Yes.
just kind of roll.
It depends on how far out I am.
On the long straight roadways, when you can see them turning off in the distance, I try and stagger it to where if I slow down fast enough, then it'll cycle through and it'll turn green again before I get up there
and
to
like
it.
Dixie Highway is like that, and there's some places in Lexington because they're on the timed things, and but
On 231, when you get south of Montgomery,
Yes.
and you got all those lights going through
Yes.
there, those are the ones that you kind of go like, oh, I can see that
I'm
one turning.
usually the one
slow
driving
down.
at that point too. Yeah,
So you know from experience.
I do.
This one really surprised me. Don't idle your car to warm it up. Like in the wintertime, you go out and start your car and let it warm up.
Maybe there's a theory to that
need
because
to warm it up.
Well, yes and no. Maybe if it is really cold, but I think if you're going to be driving it as soon as you get in it, it's going to warm up quicker by I don't know.
That's what this says.
Yeah, you're
and
gonna.
diesels are different.
Yes, that is
The
different.
diesels are different. It says you do not need to warm up your engine. You do not need to warm up your cabin. In fact, the cabin and the engine will warm faster if you start driving.
Yeah.
It says you only need about 30 seconds. What I normally suggest is that you start the car and then you put on your seatbelt and adjust the radio. And by the time you're done with that, your car's ready to go. Okay.
Now, is that like sub-zero temperatures like we had last winter?
I
Or-
don't know. I wouldn't.
You used to start mine forever.
Well,
early.
one, because also it's typically frosty.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
some
that's
of it
the
is
reason
defrosting.
I think a lot of us do that.
Yeah, if you park outside.
For me, it is.
One of the things that I do, like parking in a garage, when you pull out in a climate-controlled event and you go and you drive and you get out of the vehicle, you go, oh, I didn't realize it was hot, or I didn't realize it was cold, or I didn't realize. So I'm typically unprepared. Yet yesterday morning, I got out of my truck early at like 7 o'clock. I was like, oh gosh, it's colder than I thought, than I realized it was. Do plan efficient routes for errands. Do check your tire pressure.
Well, some of our vehicles have that now.
But the TPMSs, they're finicky.
I think, well, I have one that stays low all the time anyway, so
drives me
I
crazy.
constantly am
Me too.
watching mine. Yeah.
Back right.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Jim.
Huh, I wonder why that is. That's odd. Yeah, and you have one that the sensor, after your tires get changed, sometimes those sensors get knocked out and they get knocked a little bit, and then they're more likely to pop. Also, when you have big atmospheric changes, like typically in the fall, if you were to leave the panhandle of Florida where it's 80 degrees and you get home to Kentucky and it's 50 degrees, the next morning you can pretty much guarantee all 4 of your tires are going to report low tire pressure. And it's just the change in the atmospheric pressure. Do regularly check your engine oil, and don't use premium gas that your car doesn't need.
Oh, I don't ever use premium.
There are cars that say you need it, and their engines are designed to use it, and then there are cars that don't, and people think, oh, I'm getting better efficiency or I'm getting better mileage. Actually, no. It's just you're just throwing your money away by doing it in extra. And speaking of cars, I don't know that this is the first time that it's ever happened, but it's the first time I'm hearing of it. Police in San Francisco, California, out in the Bay Area, stopped a Waymo robotaxi for making an illegal U-turn during a weekend DUI enforcement operation. So they were out looking for drivers under the influence, and while they were there, they saw a robo-taxi from Waymo made an illegal U-turn at an intersection where they weren't. So they pulled it over.
What did they do?
They weren't able to give it a ticket because they don't have a box for robot.
Oh, my goodness.
They said, well, so they called the company and said, okay, we'll look into it and figure out why it happened. But see, they got off with a warning just by being a robot. Try that next time. Cops, you know why I stopped you? I do not know what you're saying. Got to get to a break. Today's Did You Know? You'll find out why it's CD Player Day next on In the Know.
Discounts aren't discounted if you have to search high and low for them. Stevenson's Salvage Grocery knows discounts because they deliver them. Open Tuesday through Saturday from 8 to 5. Family owned at 627 South Main Street in Litchfield. Incredible savings on brands you love. New shipments weekly. Unique finds, bulk buys, meat, and frozen food deals. Why pay more when you can save more? Discover everything you need at Stevenson's Salvage Grocery.
Your calendar is full, but your spirit's empty. You crave fun, laughter, and pancakes. Enter the Caneyville Homecoming Festival. Start with a Friday morning parade, belt out tunes at the karaoke contest, and savor a Saturday pancake breakfast from 6 to 10. Ready for more? Game show night kicks off at 5, plus carnival rides, food, and vendors all weekend. It's the perfect fit for your fun-seeking soul. Go online for details. Join the celebration at Caneyville Homecoming Festival.
Has your business grown recently? You may be eligible for a Kentucky Small Business Tax Credit of up to $25,000. If your for-profit business has 50 or fewer employees, created one new full-time position, and invested at least $5,000 in qualifying equipment or technology in the last 2 years, you may qualify. You work hard to build your business. You've earned a break. Visit kytaxcredit.org. That's kytaxcredit.org for more information and to apply.
You may have been born to be wild, but you weren't born to be dead from a needless motorcycle crash. So when you're even just a little impaired, you do not get your motor running. You do not head out on the highway. What you do is get a ride from a sober friend, a taxi or rideshare service, or public transportation. Because you may be looking for adventure, but you're not looking for trouble. Please ride sober. Paid with funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
Make this Christmas unforgettable with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. A fusion of rock and classical with a heartwarming Christmas tale. December 10th, Rupp Arena. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert.
Discover the power of peace with Blanton Electric's Generac automatic standby generators. Tailored for those who refuse to be left in the dark, these generators promise unmatched reliability when the power grid fails. Enjoy flexible financing options and the assurance of seamless energy. And with Blanton Electric, you receive more than just power. You get Troy's expertise and a free quote, serving Grayson County and beyond with Generac generators. Call 270-723-0838 or visit BlantonElectricINC.com.
K105 weather from the Wave Storm Tracking Team is brought to you by Smith Overhead Door, SOHD.info.
Twin Lakes weather.
Some clouds at times this afternoon, highs in the mid-80s. Still summer-like weather continues through the weekend. We'll see temperatures near 60 tonight under a partly cloudy sky. Mid-80s, mostly sunny skies for Thursday, and we'll carry that through several days thereafter with a small rain chance finally entering back into the forecast late Monday into Tuesday of next week. I'm Wave Storm Tracking Team meteorologist Ryan Hoke.
Did you know the first music CD was released this day in 1982?
Okay.
I didn't see a CD that I know of until 1988.
I did not see a CD until I was in elementary school, and my music teacher had the big. They looked like they were vinyl size CDs.
Okay, those are were those laser discs?
Maybe.
They were large. Yeah, they had laser discs on those big platters. Yeah. The compact disc was a shrunk version of that.
Yes.
And it's the one that came out 43 years ago today.
Okay.
And it was Billy Joel's 52nd Street album.
Okay.
Which I was going to pull and play a sample of today.
Because it was like we had that, and then the next year it was like he used CDs, which it was interesting though. But I was I'd never seen one of those big ones before.
I had an 88 or 89 model Oldsmobile that had a CD player in it for the first time.
Oh, wow.
And it would skip, like when you would bump. Like they hadn't managed the shock of it yet, so it was early technology.
Anti-shock. Yeah.
But it was still pretty good. Yeah, you'd be going down the road and hit a bump and it'd go and then regather. So we know a little bit more today about the Nicole Kidman, Keith Urban split.
Uh-oh. Just what I wanted to know.
People magazine was the first to report it, that they have called it quits. She officially filed for divorce yesterday in Nashville, but people say that he has already moved on, that all the signs point to the fact that Keith is with another woman. And a source close to Nicole says it's all over Nashville. People are talking about it, and they know. So apparently, but I think since the beginning of the summer, they've been separated, and she says she's shocked and moving on. She didn't want it, but she feels like she needs to move on. Taylor Swift, her big album release coming up on Friday, I guess midnight tomorrow night, actually. One of the things we know from the album is she is going to interpolate George Michael's father figure on the Life of a Showgirl album. And when I first thought, I thought, okay, can you do that? So it's not a cover. So I looked into it a little bit more. Okay, what is interpolating?
Is it like one of the ones where you hear a lot of these musical, or you hear a lot of songs now that have snippets of old songs in there?
Well, sort of like that, but here's the difference. We would call that sampling. You actually sample. There's so much hip hop music that is samples of other songs. Interpolating is more like, that You My Little Boo Thing song?
Yeah.
And it's The Emotions, The Best of My Love.
Uh-huh.
It's the same kind of hook and the same whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
But they're interpolating it by performing a version of it within another song.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Yeah.
So they're going to use elements, something from the father figure song by George Michael, and into a song on Life of a Showgirl. She will also, we told you she's going to be on Jimmy Fallon on Monday night, for those of you who want to see her. She's also going to be on Seth Meyers. So she'll be in back-to-back hours. They're calling it a takeover.
Oh, my gosh.
I can't.
Clever. We'll just get, you're going to be hearing it. She has become, as of yesterday, she is the only female artist to exceed 100 million album sales. First woman in history to do it. The only other artists to achieve the feat are the Beatles, Garth Brooks, Elvis Presley, and the Eagles. Not Michael Jackson, not Whitney Houston. Of course, had they both lived longer, then they might have had an opportunity to do that. But yeah, there's rare air that she is in. And prosecutors are seeking an 11-year prison sentence for Diddy. Going to be sentenced on Friday. Prosecutors want 11 years. What's he get, like half that, you think?
I don't know. I bet he doesn't even get that.
You don't think so? Sure. Maybe he'll get time served. I don't know. He's been in there for a while. He's still a flight risk. Got to get to a break. We'll come back, finish it up for the morning. Got Point to Ponder, Pearl of Wisdom, Chart Toppers, and more ahead here on In the Know.
Experts have said for years that anger is not an effective motivator for children, and now research is proving it. Studies show that a child's brain doesn't respond well to yelling or criticism. Medical imaging reveals that when a child is on the receiving end of that kind of negative communication, key parts of their brain don't fire. And that means they're literally not taking in whatever message you're trying to send. Have you ever thought, nothing I say is sinking in? Well, if you're expressing yourself through anger, that may explain why you're not getting through. Don't be fooled into thinking that your child is internalizing what you're saying just because they're nodding along as you're screaming. Children who feel threatened tend to nod in agreement as a way to protect themselves. They're just hoping you'll calm down. In reality, your anger isn't helping your child's brain build the circuitry it needs to translate your instructions and improve their behavior. Instead, give your children boundaries and appropriate discipline in a warm, loving way. It'll open their hearts to you, strengthen your relationship, and help their brains develop in a healthy way. The guiding principle is this: be hard on the issue, but soft on the person. And that means you can and should take a stand against inappropriate behavior, but it's equally important to communicate those expectations in a way that's loving and respectful. To help your children thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
The words you are about to hear are taken from letters sent in by members of the Trinity Debt Management Program.
Dear Trinity, today I'm making my final credit card payment.
Before I came to you, I was in a constant state of anxiety and panic, but now there is hope for my family's financial future.
Working with Trinity made me understand that I'm not alone.
You really do help people.
Your kindness will never be forgotten.
Without Trinity's support, I would not have achieved my lifelong goal of becoming debt-free.
We saved a lot on interest and penalties, of course, but the reward was the gift of human kindness.
Trinity has carried me through a very difficult time in my life. You're amazing.
I used to feel so anxious and hopeless. Now I feel grace and peace.
God bless Trinity as you continue to help others become debt-free.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976. That's 1-800-990-6976.
Has your business grown recently? You may be eligible for a Kentucky Small Business Tax Credit of up to $25,000. If your for-profit business has 50 or fewer employees, created one new full-time position, and invested at least $5,000 in qualifying equipment or technology in the last 2 years, you may qualify. You work hard to build your business. You've earned a break. Visit kytaxcredit.org. That's kytaxcredit.org for more information and to apply.
Check the back seat. Check the back seat. All right, come here. Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. But with changes in routines, distractions, or a sleeping child, it can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. So get it in your head.
Check the back seat.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Make this Christmas unforgettable with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. A fusion of rock and classical with a heartwarming Christmas tale. December 10th, Rupp Arena. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert.
Today is full point to ponder. I'm gonna ponder three different things.
Okay.
First one, I'm gonna give you some time on. We'll circle back. First one is, if you were forced to wear a T-shirt with a single word on it for a year, what word would you choose? A single word. So give that some thought. I'm pondering what the most popular Halloween costumes are for kids this year. The most coveted Halloween costume this year, Spider-Man.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Actually, that's funny you say that because Silas actually said he wanted to be Spider-Man this year. Or that or a pumpkin, he said.
Pumpkin. Princess, then witch, then ghost, then superhero, then Batman, then Superman, then Wednesday Addams.
I was going to say Wednesday. My niece is going to be Wednesday.
Yeah.
The K-pop Demon Hunters. Have you all seen the story about the ramen? The kids are getting scalded by eating the ramen like they do in that show. I saw that this morning. They got specialty type of ramen noodles, and they're taking them right out of the microwave, and they're just sort of chugging them like the characters do. And so it's dangerous. And vampire is the last one. Third ponderance, Whitney. Farmers market winding down in the next couple of weeks.
I would imagine that the last day for the market will probably be next week sometime. There's just not been. Everybody's pretty well finished up for the winter, or for the fall.
Right.
So,
I thought once I stop hearing you talk about it on the air weekly, I kind of forget about it. But then I realized during the breaks, like, oh yeah, it's still going on.
There's one vendor that has set up a couple of times in the last few weeks on Wednesdays, and they sell pawpaw trees. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah.
What?
Picking up pawpaws, putting them in a basket.
Trees. Yeah.
Picking up pawpaws, putting them in a basket. Okay, so if you were forced to wear a T-shirt with a single word on it for a year, what word would you choose?
Grace.
Okay.
I was gonna put hi or smile.
Okay.
But I was trying to. Well, I could do that, or you could do something like
I landed. So I was going to try to find the funny route, but I really couldn't find one that I thought would be impactful or allowed to say on the radio. But I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that.
I'm so out of character. My head went.
I just decided. I thought the best cover word, like for the whole thing, for a whole year, that would be the most appropriate at most all times, was blessed.
Yes.
Like
that's kind of
kind of like might probably be the smartest play given the opportunity. On TV tonight, of course, the Reds play the late game at the Dodgers. We will have the Yankees and the Red Sox on ESPN. And then you got the Guardians again, and you got the Tigers. And then you got that fourth game, too, which I forget at the moment because I don't care who wins out of that. But on actual television tonight, I was going to show Shifting Gears, the season 2 premiere on ABC, Abbott Elementary on ABC, Chicago Medfire and PD on NBC, and Ice Road Truckers, season 12 premiere on the History Channel tonight. Today's highlight in history, this date in 2017, the deadliest mass shooting in modern U.S. history occurred out at the Mandalay Bay at that festival, causing 60 deaths and more than 850 injuries. Also, Yosemite National Park was established by U.S. Congress this date in 1890. The Walt Disney World opened this date in 1971. Oh. Julie Andrews is 90. Rod Carew is 80. Randy Quaid is 75 today. Cousin Eddie hit the big 75 today. Mark McGuire is 62. Zach Galifianakis is 56. Brie Larson is 56 as well. Gone but not forgotten, quite a few people. William Boeing in 1881. Vladimir Horowitz in 1903. Walter Matthau in 1920. He was good. I mean, Grumpy Old Men, he was great in.
He was one of my favorites.
When he played Buttermaker in the Bad News Bears,
yes,
that's he's my favorite role too. William Rehnquist in 1924, Tom Bosley in 1927. So he was Mr. Cunningham on Happy Days, but he also went on to sell a whole lot of trash bags.
Yeah.
He was the spokesperson for Glad Trash Bags. And George Papard from the A-Team, born in 1928. Chart toppers for today. Let's go to 1947.
the busy highway.
Dorothy Shea, number 1.
Beyond the city strife.
Doing a little feuding and
We
fighting.
highly treasure and take great pleasure in our play. Sometimes it gets to be exciting.
Feuding and fighting. All right, let's go to 1956. Bill Doggett and Honky Tonk, parts 1 and 2. You're only going to get some of part 1. I'm pretty sure I can play that sax line. Not overly difficult. Let's go to 1965. The McCoys. Hang on, Sloopy. Okay, let's go to 1974. Billy Preston, number 1. And Nothing from Nothing. You gotta have something if you want to be with me. He was on the first episode? Yeah, he was also the first episode of Saturday Night Live. Yes, he and Paul Simon. They had 2 musical guests that night. Let's go to 1983. Bonnie Tyler. That Nikki French version is good, but it doesn't beat the original. She has such a unique voice. Like, that was a mega hit for her. Speaking of mega hits, number 1 in 1992. Straight out of Philly, Boyz II Men, number 1 with End of the Road. All right, let's go to...
I had a hit last week when I was here.
Oh, yeah. 24 years ago today. Alicia Keys, number 1 with Fallen.
I love to sing this in my car. Alone.
Let's go 15 years ago today. Bruno Mars and Just the Way You Are. Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes, Senorita, number 1, 6 years ago today. Whitney, safe travels, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
Thanks for coming.
Yep.
MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today says, quick decisions are unsafe decisions. Quick decisions are unsafe decisions. Pearl of Wisdom for today, remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Whitney Carmen, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
The Twin Lakes Best Mix is WKHG, Litchfield, the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.